I'm Tom Layson, and this is a Northwest Now Digital Extra. Every year on Northwest Now's Open Government program, we lament the slow erosion of governmental transparency as the legislature continues to claim something called legislative privilege, and while lawmakers write bills designed to make holding government accountable more difficult. But the importance of access to public records goes beyond the battles of the present. As Northwest Now's Steve Kiggins tells us, sometimes the quest for transparency is critical to our understanding of the past.
Lawmakers in Olympia approved a bill that preserves and catalogs thousands of hospital records found inside dilapidated buildings at the state's Lakeland Village residential facility in Spokane County. We're talking somewhere in the order of 3,000 boxes filled with these documents that are decades old. These documents tell the stories of Washington state citizens who were separated from their families and institutionalized. Now, these records were slated to be destroyed, but that's until public record advocates sounded the alarm.
My great aunt is Grace Buchanan. There's a picture of Grace.
Leslie Whiting is passionate about family history. She testified during a January Senate hearing, sharing what she learned thanks to access to state records about a long-lost relative she met only once.
Grace was sterilized. Grace was committed to the state custodial school by her mother on June 20th, 1929. She was 14 years old.
Grace's story is just one of an untold number of histories waiting to be revealed, but only if Washington State protect and make publicly available patient records.
I cried, it just changed me that I want to make sure people knew who she was.
I think society was afraid of people with developmental disabilities.
Stacy Dim, executive director of the Arc of Washington State, a nonprofit fighting for intellectual and developmentally disabled communities' civil liberties, says records discovered at Lakeland Village may date back more than a century, and inside them, she says, likely describe a dark history of eugenics, mistreatment, and possibly reveal branches to severed family trees.
I mean, I've met 70-year-olds who didn't know they had a sibling until their parents passed away. And then they discover that they have a sibling at a state institution they didn't know about.
Her efforts to save patient records from destruction awarded Dim and Lakeland Village Superintendent Tim Gerlitz with a key award from the Washington Coalition for Open Government. The bill approved by lawmakers instructs state agencies and the University of Washington to create a preservation plan and submit a budget in 2025. Next year, advocates hope lawmakers approve funding to add identifying information on 900 Lakeland cemetery headstones that today display only a number stamped into concrete.
It wasn't just children who had, what they considered feeble-minded, but kids who were troublemakers.
Whiting's research moved beyond her Aunt Grace. She's reaching out to strangers who may not even know about family members who became patients under the state's care.
What a tragedy if you wipe off someone's story, that their life had meaning, that they want people to know, hey, I was here.
In Seattle, Steve Kiggins, Northwest Now.
To see our full discussion about open government, be sure to look in the Northwest Now section of kbtc.org. Northwest Now airs Friday nights at 7:30 right here on KBTC. And be sure to look for more digital stories like this one by following us on Facebook and Twitter at Northwest Now.